Hi friends, how are you? I hope you're doing well. In this video, we're going to learn the Super Witch Fireball strategy together. The purpose of making this video is to answer the members' question about whether the Super Witch strategy is still usable, especially against higher town halls, such as 14 and 15. The nerf to Super Witches now allows spring traps to launch big boys, which means, unlike before when big boys stayed on the map until their HP ran out, now even a freshly summoned big boy will be thrown off the map if it steps on a spring trap and will lose it. And in this video, you'll see that the Super Witch strategy is still one of the best strategies to use against Town Hall 13 and even higher town halls. Before we get into the attack planning part for enemy maps, there are some important points you must know to become a master of the Super Witch strategy. We can use Fireball in two ways. 1. Warden Walk style, which is the common method used by players. But this method must only be used when there's no other choice, because the risk of time fail is high. If possible, you should go for the second method. The first method must be used only when we can't target the desired building with the Fireball and 3 invisibility spells due to too many defensive buildings around. In this case, we use the Warden and Healers to destroy a few defenses, and then with 3 invisibility spells, we strike the intended defensive building with the Fireball. But as I said before, the risk of time fail is high, and this should only be used when necessary. The second method, which you must learn now, should be used when you can make the surrounding defenses invisible with 3 invisibility spells to target the intended building with the Fireball. In that case, you must use this method and not the first one. The way to execute this strategy is to use 3 invisibility spells to make the surrounding defenses invisible, then hit the target defense with the Fireball. However, an important point you must know and always follow is this. After using the invisibility spells, deploying the Warden and using the Fireball must be done without delay. Now, the question that may come to some of you is, why must we use the Fireball immediately after deploying the Warden? The answer is simple, because of the presence of Teslas. If we delay after deploying the Warden, the Tesla designed to bait the Fireball will pop up and the Fireball will hit that instead. So by quickly using the Fireball before the Tesla appears, we can strike the intended building and neutralize the trap set for us. The next point is this. Always be conservative with wall breakers, and don't use them carelessly, because that will ruin the attack plan and cause the Super Witches to split up. Always remember that when facing higher town hall walls, if the wall breaker dies near the wall, it won't break it. The wall breaker must reach the wall and explode by itself. The use of the Royal Champion in this strategy is situational. She will be used wherever needed, so no fixed plan can be made for her deployment. Now let's move on to the attack planning for the first base. To create the funnel properly, the Fireball must hit one of the inner defensive buildings of the base, and the best option can be the Eagle Artillery side. If you choose an outer defensive building instead of one from the core, then after using the Fireball, like in this example, and deploying the Super Witches, when they reach this area, they'll easily split off in different directions and get scattered. So, we'll target the Eagle Artillery with the Fireball. Hitting it not only gives us good value in destruction, but also helps build a strong funnel. To target the Eagle Artillery, 3 invisibility spells won't be enough, so we must use the first method. To begin, we'll deploy the Warden here, and wait for him to destroy these 3 defensive buildings. Then, we'll use the invisibility spells in this pattern. After that, we'll drop the Fireball and the Earthquake spells. We then wait for the Warden to destroy the air defense. If it's not destroyed, after deploying the Super Witches, the healers will switch from the Warden to the Super Witches and follow them, putting them in range of the air defense, which will easily kill our healers. Once the air defense is down, it's time to deploy the Super Witches. With the first wall breaker, we'll send the Super Witches into the base. The Queen and the Siege Barracks will be used on this side to push the Super Witches into the base. With the second wall breaker, we'll send the Queen, the P.E.K.K.A. from the Siege Barracks, and the Valkyries into the base. In this base, there's no need to use a jump spell.
Won't you say why you're a stranger now? Your eyes escaping mine when I sit you down. Don't you feel like we're holding on onto a fairy tale, but the magic's gone? Been months of bluffing the bushes and faking the butterflies. Wake up, yeah, I'm kicking the castle down.
By targeting the town hall, we'll eliminate the town hall itself, 2 Expos, and 2 builder huts right from the start. This also helps us create a strong funnel. To hit the town hall, we'll use the second method described in the video intro, because when the fireball hits the town hall, the builder huts around it will also be destroyed. That means there will be no builder hut left to regenerate the town hall's HP. Here's how it will be executed. First, we use 2 invisibility spells, one to make this archer tower and builder hut invisible, and the second to make this other archer tower invisible. Then, we use the earthquake spells to activate the town hall, making it count as a defensive building. After that, we launch the fireball. If it were a situation where the builder huts wouldn't be destroyed by the fireball, we would definitely have to use the first method. That's because if we used the second method in such a case, by the time the warden reaches the town hall, its HP would have been regenerated, wasting too much time. So in this case, we go with the second method and wait for the warden to destroy the town hall and surrounding buildings to fully form the funnel. After the funnel is formed, it's time to deploy the super witches. At the bottom side, we'll use the queen and the siege barracks to clear the lower buildings, leaving the super witches with no choice but to enter the base. Be cautious when using wall breakers, because our wall breaker level is for Town Hall 13. If they die near the wall won't break. So we'll wait for the scatter shot to fire its shot, and then send the wall breaker to make sure the wall will break. With the second wall breaker, we'll target this wall, and with the third one, we'll target this wall. Finally, with the jump spell, we'll provide the super witches access to the eagle artillery.
Understand where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me. Loosening my grip has pulled you into me. When I let you go, it just pulled you closer. It's a long departure. It's a long departure. Before I see you again, before it all makes sense, but I can't hold you back. And I still don't understand where it came from, but you're back in with the passion. I'm awake with the flame in a hailstorm. I'm back in, I gotta have it. Everything to do with what you give to me. Loosening my grip has pulled you into me. When I let you go, it just pulled you closer. It's a long departure.
In this type of base, you must try to destroy the core of the base using the fireball. To do this, you need to wait until the warden destroys a few defensive buildings. Then, with the help of invisibility spells, target one of the central defensive buildings with the fireball. Otherwise, it won't be possible to reach the central defense with just 3 invisibility spells. Let me also give you a very important and practical tip. Imagine you've used the fireball on the outer part of the base, and that area is now destroyed. Then you deploy your troops from that side. By doing this, you're essentially sending your troops into a ring where defensive buildings from all directions will damage your troops. So never deploy your troops into the base this way. Instead, we'll target a central building in the base with the fireball. For that, we need a short warden walk to clear a few defensive buildings, so that with 3 invisibility spells, we can hit the bomb tower with the fireball. After destroying those defensive buildings, we must use the 3 invisibility spells in this way. One here, another one here, and the third one for this air defense, so the fireball lands on the bomb tower. After the fireball hits, we'll use the earthquake spells to achieve the destruction shown in the image. Then, the super witches will be deployed here, and the goal is to guide them toward the town hall. To do that, the wall breakers must be used like this. The first one to give access to this section, and with the help of the queen and the siege barracks, we'll block the super witches from moving toward the left side of the base. The second one for this part. Once the troops reach behind this wall, we'll use the jump spell to help them reach the town hall.
You used to stop this world from spinning. Like Superman, you were the only one to find the strength in all that I was dealing with. This life like kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall too deep, will you be there when I wait to save me? A superhero in me. A superhero in me. You called my soul when I was falling. You moved the clouds to stop me from hitting the ground. In every goal there was a meaning. For this love ain't kryptonite. And if you keep me close, every minute in this hourglass you hold. Oh, 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 and when I fall too deep, will you be there when I wait to save me? A superhero in me. A superhero in me. Oh, oh, and when I fall too deep, will you be there when I wait to save me?
By hitting the mortar with the fireball, we can destroy both the Eagle artillery and one of the 3 single infernos on the map, which could otherwise be problematic for us. To target the mortar, we need 3 invisibility spells, which will be used like this. One to make these 4 buildings invisible, another for these 3 buildings, and the third one for these 2, ensuring that the fireball definitely hits the mortar. However, there's another way to use the invisibility spells that's even easier and more reliable than the first one. In the attack, I used the first method to make the buildings invisible, but since the first invisibility spell didn't make this builder hut invisible, I used the third invisibility spell to make that builder hut invisible. After the fireball hits and we use the earthquake spells, we must wait for the warden to clear this side, so we can be sure the super witches won't get pulled to that side after being deployed. With the first wall breaker, we'll target this wall so the super witches can reach the single inferno. The queen and the siege barracks will be used here to prevent the super witches from walking around, forcing them to go straight into the base. The second wall breaker will provide access for the P.E.K.K.A. and the queen toward the monolith. Then, with the jump spell, we'll give the super witches access to the town hall.
Gave you too much, now I'm swallowed. Now I'm the fool while you're breaking rules. Dangerous path that I follow. Oh, go on, just do what you do. And it pain seems to follow